Two moms, two marketers, two women new to the financial industry. They have a lot of questions. That's why they're bringing in financial experts to educate all of us here on A Penny or Two for Your Thoughts.
Hey everyone, it's Chantel and Liz with another episode of A Penny or Two for Your Thoughts.
Bing! She did it, folks.
Wow.
It only took 3 takes.
That was tough. That was
If only
tough.
you could hear the first 2 takes. They were money.
Okay, so I know I told you I was going to tell you this story because I already told you this story yesterday, but I said I was going to tell the story on the podcast today, but then something happened on the way here that escalated the story.
Oh, okay. I like escalation.
Okay, so it's summer now as we're recording this. Not summer.
Well, it's 94 outside.
It's 94.
So.
It feels like it. And so when I say summer in my world, my husband's a teacher. So he is on summer break, right?
Yep.
And everybody's calm and cool and collected and everything. And I was home last Monday and he was doing things outside. And then he came in and had lunch and then he sat down and I go, what's going on? What are you doing? He goes, well, this is my routine. So don't think that you're going to screw with my routine in the summer because you're at work usually. I go, so you sit down and now what? He goes, I watch Bar Rescue and I might take a little nap. And I go, what? Like, wait, at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm in 15 meetings or whatever, so he was really upset that I know his secret routine. So on the way here to record, I called him and it rang a few times and it was like, hello? I go, oh, I'm sorry. Did I wake you up from a nap? Because you did. Are you kidding me?
He's not lying. That's his routine.
Oh my gosh. I'm just over it. So there you go, Chad.
Okay.
I did call you out and I told you I would.
Okay. So I know my husband listens to this, so I'm probably going to get the eyeballs later. But he informs me that when he works from home, sometimes that we have a futon in the office, but we've got it set up like a couch.
Yeah.
He said sometimes he just randomly will go lay down on the futon and fall asleep for a while. I go, oh, that must be nice.
To go take a little snooze.
Must be nice. Like I'm literally, when I work from home, I run upstairs, reheat my lunch, bring it back down, sit down, maybe finish my lunch. If I heated it up at noon, I'm maybe taking the last bite at 2 p.m. because I've been working.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening, but that's what's happening now. So
boys,
whatever.
Boys.
Welcome to summer, everyone. I hope you're all enjoying it.
Yeah.
Oh no! Did you see that?
Yeah, your screen blacked out. That would
similar to life in general. Let's get started.
Let's pivot. This.
Shout out to our good friend Kim.
Yep, there you go. All right, let's just jump in.
We should.
If only it were a swimming pool, though. That would be lovely. All right. Anyway, I digress. We've got not one, folks, but two phenomenal guests on our show today. I'm going to introduce our first guest. First thing I'm going to say about him, he has been dying to be on an episode. I think ever since we met him in new hire orientation a year ago.
Yes.
He literally wants to be on he has wanted to be on an episode.
I know.
And he's brought so many good ideas.
I know. And here we are today.
And so we're so excited to finally have him on. Let me tell you a little bit about this guest, though.
Right.
He's originally from Alaska.
What?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Right? I didn't either.
I feel like we're doing an episode of Smart List right now.
I do too.
And
like the guest is behind the screen. Yeah, you're trying to guess.
Let me close my eyes.
Close your
I
eyes.
will pretend he's sitting, not sitting.
Okay, listener, she put her hand over her head so that she couldn't see our guest that's literally sitting right almost across from her.
Yeah.
So this guest is originally from Alaska, and he retired from the Air Force in 2018 at Offutt Air Force Base, which is here in Omaha for our listeners that may not be located here. And then he joined Centris almost a year ago. Now get this. He joined Centris as a part-time teller.
Okay.
Within 3 weeks, he moved into a service representative role. That's how awesome he is.
So promotion.
Promotion.
Dang.
He is a go-getter.
Mhm.
Go-getter. He's so much of a go-getter that he's heading back to school to get his bachelor's degree in HR with a focus on training and development, all because of one of our other guests.
Oh my, this like the
Did you get
little
goosebumps?
eggs that you're dropping for me here.
I know, even though you can look right at him and make eye contact.
I know, but I'm
Weird.
not going to.
Nope.
I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna let the curtain down for you so you can open your eyes.
Okay.
Please
All right.
welcome to the show, Jimmy Chavez.
Oh my
Hello.
gosh, it's Jimmy. I knew it. I knew it was
Were
going
you
to be.
gonna guess that? Were you gonna guess that?
was
Okay.
so good.
Okay. Now
believe
wait.
it.
That's one of
Okay.
the two.
Okay.
Now our next guest, this one's a repeat podster. Okay.
Oh,
Podster.
Those
I'm gonna
repeaters.
throw that word out, podster, because she's real hip, slick, and cool. She is living proof that you don't need a traditional path to build a meaningful, purpose-driven career.
That's deep.
It is deep. Wait, it gets deeper. She is on a mission to inspire others to chase growth, say yes to opportunity, and own their unique journey. She's passionate about people, which is super obvious with how she walks around the office, smiling, and that laugh. If I hear her and I'm not even involved in the conversation and I hear her laughing, I'm laughing. She's passionate about people, her positivity, and the power of reinvention. And she hopes to inspire others with her story and how she helps them discover careers that truly ignite their passion.
Dang.
I know. Please welcome back to the podcast.
Oh my
our
gosh.
Senior Learning and Development Specialist and career coach and the most awesome DJ at Centris, Brittany Welch.
Welchy
DJ Welchy Welch is in the house.
again. Woo-hoo. Oh my god.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here with you. Oh, this is so fantastic. I'm excited.
Oh, it
I'm
feels
excited.
like you're
Round
oh
two.
Round two.
It feels like she's jet set somewhere and she's in
I
like
know.
a hotel somewhere going, oh yeah, I'm here.
Right?
I have
She's
like
like
a
in a
press
bougie-
junket. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yes, bougie, like Ritz something or other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We're in the office. Like, this is the best space ever. Even
It
on the
is.
gloomy days, it is still so bright.
Yes.
Here.
You sat
love
in
it.
that same office when you interviewed me 4 years ago. You did.
I did.
Mhm.
I can't believe
Did.
it's been that long. That's
And that was
crazy.
when I was like, I've got to work there because this lady is
Yes.
whew, so
And I was
good.
like, you got to work here. You
No.
got to come here.
I was like, please.
Yeah,
Oh.
listeners, if you're not watching us on YouTube, which if you want to see what we look like,
Why you gotta say that? Why?
we're on YouTube.
Why you gotta? Why?
Well, I just got to
You-
throw it out there.
There's no need for that.
Our partners at Herdat would appreciate if I let people know that we're on YouTube.
Really? Because I keep looking at Cam right now, and I don't feel like he's feeling it this
No,
day.
I feel
Are
like
you good? Are you good? Oh, he doesn't have a voice.
he does have a voice.
Do you have a voice today?
I have a voice.
Oh, good.
There's
I knew you were going to call on me, so I hooked up my own microphone.
Thank you. I'm glad you listened this time.
Yeah.
Pay attention.
ooh.
Bossy.
Okay. Okay.
Should we start?
Okay, we should. Because I'm uncomfortable and there's no Tupperware for me to hide into. Okay.
Happening.
All
Oh my
right.
God.
Okay. So we brought you both here because
Well, first of all, the person you sent that had that nice little rag with the ether on it was very gentle. So thank you. I appreciate that.
Jeez.
Listeners, everything that you hear today.
We're gonna have to put a huge
Okay.
disclosure-
Disclaimer.
disclaimer
Not
on
true. Not true. Sorry.
Okay. Anywho, many of us. So I'm not going to say that again. I almost said we brought these two here today. Many of us start on one career path.
Yes.
We get out of school, whatever that looks like, high school, college, whatever, and we get on this career path, only to discover that we have a new passion that really lights us up. And at Centris, what I love about where we work is we champion those what we call pivots. In life, a lot of us take pivots. We're going down one way, and all of a sudden something opens up for us, or we see an opportunity, and we reach out and grab it, and we go that direction. So thank you, Brittany, to our learning and development opportunities that you and your team bring to us. Many of our employees have really shifted departments. They've
Absolutely.
changed roles. They've moved. They've pursued promotions. So or even that higher education. We give those opportunities to go get that higher education and all to follow the calling that we really never expected. So I want us to just kind of sit here and redefine what a career path can truly be. So Brittany, I kind of want to start with you because you've been at Centris, gosh, how many years now?
It'll be 18 years in November.
So she was 12 when she started, folks.
For real.
Absolutely.
So could you share a little bit about your career and the journey that you took and what led you to where you are today?
Absolutely. So almost 18 years ago, I was going to school for journalism and graphic design. I don't know if you ladies know that. I don't know if I've shared that with you before. So
that's
that's a whole other conversation that we're going to have.
Yes, I know. And so honestly, I just needed to find a job to make money while I was going to school. That was my priority. And so through networking and a friend of mine, she had encouraged me to explore the financial industry. And more so even Centris. So she had heard great things about Centris. And so I applied. And Chrissy is the one who interviewed me for the position and started. I was terrified. I had never worked. I'd worked in the restaurant industry, worked at a call center, and this was a brand new experience. And did the floating teller position. So getting to know all the different branch locations and people and members and team members and just embracing just a whole new world for myself. I got promoted and had the opportunity to step into the vault teller position about 4 months into employment. And I remember at that time that the leader at a branch location had mentioned it to me, and I was very hesitant. I said, nope, I'm not ready for it. I still have so much to learn in this current position I'm in. And he encouraged me and said, the people, the connecting with other people, you've got that. That's something that you enjoy. I see that every single day. It's the transactional side of things, the system, the technology. He said, I'm going to teach you all of that. We're going to teach you those things. And so I hesitated. He had said yes to the opportunity. And I'm really glad I did. Now, from there, I actually went part-time. So I actually took kind of a step back after getting promoted and just being a vault teller for a couple of years. I had twin girls. They were my priority. And so I kind of went back to a part-time teller position just because I wanted to be home taking care of them. Did not plan that or expect that. And then after that position moved back into the vault teller position. Now that kind of led me to a whole different position. So I moved into the teller manager position. Now that was unique, especially at that time. It was one of two positions in the organization, and I was learning to manage. So stepping into an actual leadership role within the organization. And so that wasn't typical for that to take place. I think a lot of team members assumed you had to go from a teller to a service representative and then move into the leadership side of things. Now, after doing that for a few years, my leader at that time said, there's an opportunity for a branch manager position. And I think you should consider it. And so I remember almost being taken back, like, no, I'm same kind of experience that I had with the vault teller role. I was like, I've got so much to learn. I'm not ready for it. And so I was like, okay, so what does this look like if I do say yes? What could I learn from this experience? How do I do this? And I thought, same thing, the human connection, the people connection, I've got that. I thrive. I enjoy that so much. All the other processing, opening new accounts, learning the loan side of things. I was like, I've got an amazing team and leadership team to help me through that. I'll figure that out. I'm not afraid in that capacity. And so I said, yes. And that was incredibly unique because I was almost leaping, not so much climbing a ladder, but leaping leaping into these different opportunities. And so that was unique for most people just at Centris, for me as well. And then even through that hesitation, still saying yes to these opportunities. Now, that position got me into the training side of things. So as a leader, just that passion for coaching and developing others, teaching others based on my experience and through the different positions, how to be just hit the ground running, to be successful, and to help navigate that with someone. And so that got me into learning and development. And then a position opened up in human resources, the recruiting side of things. And again, I had team members and leaders encourage me to explore that capacity. This time, based on the experience prior to, I did hesitate. I'm not going to lie. I thought about that. And I said, yes, let's do this. I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to try it. I'm going to take all of the experience and things that I've done previously, bring that to this role, and I'm ready to learn something new. And so now I am at this capacity where I think of it kind of like this hybrid opportunity between the elements of human resources and career coaching and navigating and things that I took from the recruiting capacity. I do that every day along with the training and learning and development. So, and that's what I do today.
Wow. I mean,
a lot over the 18 years.
When you say leap, yes, that's a perfect word, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I mean, and I love how you said that you just kept saying yes.
Mm-hmm.
How did fear play into that, or did it? I mean,
Yes.
I just listening to you and how you've grown and done so many different things, but then at the end it all comes together. You know, the knowledge of being a teller and going through the branch manager position and then learning and development and all of it. How did that potentially play into your decision? But then always to say yes. I'm so intrigued by this.
That's a great question. I think at every point I had fears and hesitation. Every single point there was. I think the fear is real in a sense of I didn't have any sort of credentials for this. So, you know, what I was going to school for had nothing to do with this industry. And so I questioned, do I have the right credentials? I don't have a degree in human resources or learning and development.
Mm-hmm.
I was worried that I just wouldn't meet the expectations of the position, that I would fail in some capacity. And so what I failed to realize is that all of the skills and experience that I learned from even just the restaurant to the contact center, I applied those skills and experience to being a teller. And then embraced, onboarding team members and working with team members early on in my career. I just didn't recognize that I did have maybe not the piece of paper or the credentials, but I had the experience there. I was living that. And so I just had to see that. It was hard to see that at first. So I think imposter syndrome is a real thing.
Yes.
And experiencing that internal dialogue, what you tell yourself and that doubt. I think you have to focus on kind of controlling that volume and just even recognizing that you do have volume control when it comes to that. I also think all of that experience is zero. I'm not starting from square one in those situations.
Right.
And I'm also embracing the opportunity to learn and just expand my knowledge and skill set every time. So I thought, gosh, not so much, what am I going to do wrong? It's what can I learn from this? What else can I take on? What can this saying yes to this opportunity expose me to, or teach me new things, or challenge my skill set? I love to solve problems. And so getting to just expose to more opportunities to be able to expand.
Yeah. I love hearing that as well, especially as I have a son that's going to be a senior in high school. And the other day he said, how am I supposed to know what I'm going to do for the rest of my life when I'm 17 years old?
Right.
And that's a hard question as a parent to answer. And I love how you said, maybe I don't have a certificate or whatever in this or that, but you do learn on the job.
Yep.
I mean, man, I'm going to tell you
100%.
what, I would go back to college in a second. but not to go to school. I would do all the fun things that we did, right?
Yeah, right.
But because I learned everything on the job.
Well, and it's funny, like we go to school and we learn, and I swear what we learned in school, as soon as I went out and got my job, none of that was applicable anymore because technology had advanced.
Yeah.
Things had advanced so much. There were new, avenues and platforms that we needed to look at and that weren't even considered when I was sitting there reading out of a textbook from the professor. It's like, sure. I mean, if I need to get that piece of paper that says I committed 4 years of my life and paid you all this money, okay. But those skills I've got today are not from college 5,000 years ago.
Right. And the opportunities are there in these organizations all over, right? To do that, to have that, if you seek that out. And if you're asking that in the interview process, is there growth potential? And you're not the only one. That's what's exciting, especially at Centris. Like, there are so many.
Yes.
When we came here, so many people who've been here a really long time and have done so many different things and had that opportunity given to them. But you need to ask if you're, looking and going forward. So
I know I'm going to kind of shout out a coworker that, unfortunately, she was going to join us on this podcast, but she's another one that she's been at Centris forever and literally has done so many roles in so many different departments. Cindy, like she is just, she's amazing and she has so much knowledge and she's built all of that just being at Centris and pivoting in her career over those years. So it's just incredible.
Well, I don't know about you two, but Brittany, you're hired.
We have another position for you.
We'd like you to take on lead.
Love it.
You had to think through this though. Like you just said you had twin girls during this time. I mean, there had to have been a lot of things and planning you had to do to be able to make these leaps during this time. How do you plan for that, and how do you kind of navigate that?
Absolutely. Well, it helps working at and being a member of a credit union, right? For the financial aspect as well, and partnering to see what options are, because absolutely financial planning is a big component to that. The other thing is, I think also just that you don't have to take a class, but gosh, there's so much information and at our fingertips. That doing a little bit of research goes a long way. Different courses that you could take, different, TED Talks or videos or YouTube videos and things like that to kind of learn and just expose yourself to that world. I think what it starts with is just being curious, right? Like that's the first step, is to say, I'm curious, and to speak that out to your leadership team, counterparts, friends, family members, and say, I want to see what else is out there. I want to explore more. And then to start to do the research and connect with other people, whether that's at the financial institution for the financial aspect, or starting to explore other people that maybe, explore with other people who you admire, or that have, been in that position, to say, tell me, how did you get there? What does it look like day to day for you? Because I could have these big dreams, but then talking to somebody who's actually living it, if somebody does their job really well, I think a lot of times they're going to make it look really easy and really fun. Right? Yeah. And so I think having an actual conversation with that person and staying curious to say, well, what does that look like for you day to day? What are the challenges that you face? What's the hardest part about your job? And exploring that as well. But I think number one, it starts with just being curious. So
I love that. She used that so often in training, and I love it. I love every time you say it, because it just brings me back to just be that. Ask the questions.
Yep. I know I mentioned in her intro, she's career coach, and I've met with her on several occasions just, because I'm curious and I'm wondering. And so I sat down with her and she goes, be curious, ask the questions. Yep. Make your own opportunities. And it's like, oh my gosh. It was so like, I know. And she just says it, and she says it with a smile. And I'm just like, I just put you in my pocket and keep you with me all the time, because I feel better when I'm done talking to you.
It's your sweet little voice.
I know.
Thank you.
So nice. She's the best. All right, Jimmy, we're not going to let you off the hook. You've got the mic on, the headphones.
Whoa, hold on. I want to hear more from Brittany.
Too bad. You had plenty of time, my
You've
friend.
So you're in the hot seat.
Yes.
All right, Jimmy. So you have done some pivots throughout your life. I mean, being in the Air Force and then coming to a financial institution and now heading back to school and seeking out that HR degree. That's exciting. So what sparked that for you? Like, what sparked your interest in going back to school for that field? And then was there a specific moment or experience? And I'm sure Brittany probably had some hand in that, that really solidified that decision for you.
Absolutely. Brittany, you're definitely not going to get off the hook for this. So really, it came down to basically realizing what I enjoy. And coming to Centris since I've joined it, first things first, I have to credit the two of you. Why I wanted to come on a podcast is because of YouTube. I actually previously had no interest in listening to podcasts nor being on one. And then during the initial training, meeting you two and finding out how it actually plays a part and how you can get information out, it was really intriguing. And I was like, wow, this is something that I'd like to see firsthand and possibly take part in to find out. I was asking questions, Brittany, find out what it is actually like. And so that's what sparked that interest at that point. So
We have a fan.
you do.
We didn't even pay this one.
No.
No, yeah, I
Zero
haven't.
money.
It's
Zero money.
Maybe a residual. No, but anyway.
We'll pay you later.
We got pens. That's all we got.
So when it came down to it, coming to Centris, it was a different experience altogether from the military. The military is a different culture, especially spending a career in the military. If you have a job to do, you're pretty much assigned the job. This is what I need you to do. You need to get it done. It's not really a matter of debate or I'm not sure if I can do it or not. If they say, Sergeant Chavez, you're going to do this, my response is, yes, sir, I'm going to do this. So going to a different environment where, hey, we actually have options here. We have different things to find that might fit your style better, the way that you interact with people or how you handle information. Are you willing to learn? Are you willing to grow? Those opportunities are there. And so you actually get that opportunity. It's almost like, wow, I can do different things. I actually have a choice. I can find what actually suits me well, and I can use my knowledge, my experience, my interactions with other people and help their situation in some way or build a rapport with people and build those relationships so that we can work together and find the best resolution to any issue or continue to improve a product or anything along those lines. It's insane how many options you actually have. Mm-hmm. So to go from that kind of world where more things are dictated to you as opposed to you have the freedom to learn and grow and with yourself and others, it's incredible. So seeing all these options, seeing the podcast, and then this is where we go. I had the pleasure of meeting Brittany right there from training when I was going through my initial training. And I do have a number of years of experience when it comes to training and instructing myself, both in the military and actually after the military, prior to coming to Centris.
And how many years was that? Because it's substantial. Like, it's a good amount.
I have been training, developing, instructing for over 20 years now.
Incredible.
So when I made it to Centris, and Brittany and her other counterpart in training, the other Brittany, were both
Make things easier out here.
Yep.
So when I had the amazing experience of the Britneys, it really was like, wow, you know what? I want to be as good as they are. I know I do have the experience behind it. There's some details that I might need to learn to grow a little bit more, but that is something right there that I can relate to, something I enjoy, the way they interact with people, the way they help people grow. And I was like, that is something I want to pursue. So when that hit me, when I realized that that is something that I would like to follow, that I would like to go after, that's where it's like, what do I need to be able to increase my opportunities? And the HR degree with a focus on training and development was pretty much the right choice. So then I just looked into seeing if it was something that would be doable, if I could accomplish it, if it was the right time or whatnot. And it ended up working out that way. So either I go for an opportunity and go for those goals, or I stay here and nothing happens. Right. I just kind of stay where I'm at and possibly not taking advantage of an opportunity that's there for not just myself, but the people I may be working with. So why not go for it?
Right. You're curious.
Absolutely.
Curious. I love it so much.
So you kind of hit on this a little bit, but what research or reflection did you do to determine that this was the route that you wanted to take, that higher education is where you wanted to go for that next step in your career?
Well, really the first thing what it was that I realized is I was kind of being a rock. I was kind of sitting there not realizing that things were actually happening around me. And then what I mean by that is you had Brittany and her counterpart Brittany and other individuals at Centris that were doing all these things that I've actually already had experience with and could relate to and understood, and realized that, hey, in some capacity, I was actually already doing these things. And that's when I realized I actually enjoy doing that. Well, if I enjoy doing that, why don't I do that more? And then I felt, after 20 years, I'm like, okay, I finally figured it out. Okay, yeah, why don't I go this route? So it took me a little bit, but eventually I got there. So that's really what it was, just realizing a situation for what it is, seeing how individuals like Brittany interact with others, how they help them grow, that I was already in different capacities doing that for individuals. And then at Centris, going from a part-time teller into the service rep role where I'm dealing directly with our members and any issues they may have, any questions they may have, where I get to teach them, instruct them, pretty much give them information in a manner that they can understand so that there are no questions and they feel more secure in their decisions. It was just a natural move. I was just like, this is what I need to be doing.
Timing is everything, isn't
Absolutely.
it? I mean, you're always in different seasons of life. And so it's just, sometimes you got to get hit over the head to be like, oh, I am just sitting here and it's all, I love when you said it's all happening around me.
Yep.
Which is so funny that you use that terminology, because the reason I came to Centris was just before Centris, I was a driving instructor.
Okay.
And a Dodge Ram thought it would be fun to introduce themselves to me. And so when I was hit by that truck, I was like, maybe I need to look at a different line of work. And so that's why.
Were you in a car?
I was, thankfully.
Okay, I was like, just let's clarify that.
Thankfully, I was in my vehicle, and this Dodge Ram decided to come to my driver's side door and say hello to me. And so after recovering for a few months, that's what I was like, let me see what other options I have. And I came across Centris, and that's what brought me here. Just the environment, the individuals that are part of it. That's great. It's just an amazing culture and so much safer than having vehicles come at me on a regular basis. So I was like,
That's a plug. That's a plug for Centris. Safe, secure.
Brittany, make sure you share that with Haley so that when she's recruiting,
Yes. Won't get hit by a Dodge Ram.
you won't get hit. Yes.
More than likely.
Exactly. So, during this entire, transition, as you think about what this academic journey is for you, I'm sure you've thought of challenges or what that's going to look like, but also excitement. What are those looking like for you?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So the challenges that maybe a couple of years ago I may be worried about is I have 3 daughters. So taking care of my kids.
Yeah. Yep.
Now my 2 oldest daughters can drive on their own. So go ahead. I don't have to deal with that. I can handle taking care of the youngest.
Yes.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So that affords me more time to actually put in for my studies and be able to schedule around that rather than going to 3 separate places and trying to pick up 3 kids while doing work and trying to do schoolwork. It just wasn't going to work out. So now schedule availability. So that was one that rectified itself. So we're good there. The only thing really that I'm a little bit nervous about is I did finish my associate's degree a couple of years ago. So I'm not that far removed from school, but trying to get back into the flow of things. Yeah. When I start my classes, my courses already, I found out each course is 6 weeks long, and it immediately starts up again right after that. So it's going to be go, go, go. Yeah. And so life happens. Who knows what kind of distractions may come up. So just being able to figure out how to adjust to what may come and go and just continue on and reach my ultimate goal. I'm a little bit nervous about that just because it is going to be about 2 years for me to finish. And a lot can happen in 2 years.
Sure.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And all the papers and homework and all the things that we don't think about.
I just gave you like a stare of like,
I know.
Thanks for bringing that up.
And he just kicked me under the table. Ouch.
But you're excited.
I am excited. Absolutely.
Excited. It's so great.
What are you most excited about?
What am I most excited about? That's funny. I'm going to use Brittany as an example. I want to be like Brittany when I grow up. Really, I'm excited that I enjoy interacting with people. I enjoy instructing and helping people become a better version of themselves if I can, really build their confidence. I'm going to throw something a little bit extra. I've been a nationally certified bowling coach for the last 18 years. And so I've had kids from about 5 years old go all the way up to college, receive scholarships for bowling and graduate and all that. I've been through that and seeing them grow, learn, become more confident in themselves. That right there is truly rewarding. I enjoy that. greatly enjoy helping somebody become a better version of themselves.
That's
So
so great. I love hearing that.
I do too.
What's your like? Is there a handicap in bowling?
there is a handicap. I don't get much of anything. So my average is about 225, 230 per game. I have
Real similar to that.
Yeah, that sounds about like
Yeah.
my
I just don't have the 2 in front of it.
average. Yeah.
I have about 15 perfect games, and I competed nationally. I have 3 amateur titles under my belt, and so
Oh,
it's a lot of
well,
fun.
aren't we bougie?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
well, I was trying to get.
I do too on the Wii Sports one.
I was trying to hustle a little inner branch bowling outing, but it never came to fruition.
Oh, well, yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're
not
probably
gonna
like,
know.
no, Jimmy.
No way. We're not
Gonna
bowling with you.
Strike out of that.
Right. Yeah.
Don't pin me down. No. Okay.
Oh my god.
I was trying.
I
spare me.
apologize.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Brittany, just talk to me. Look at me. Don't look at them. It's fine. We'll get through this.
We were on a roll.
Oh my god. Okay, Brittany, next question. Okay, so we've
The ball's
talked
in your court.
There you go.
I don't even know where to go at this point. Okay, let's
Maybe just take it down another lane.
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
Just pull yourself out of the gutter. It'll be fine.
yeah, with you
This is
people.
so good. This is so good.
Something about a turkey in there somewhere.
Yeah, we got to
right?
throw a turkey in
Gobble
there.
gobble.
Gobble, gobble.
Look, if you're going to keep these puns up, I'm going to split. That's it.
Oh.
Can't anymore.
Oh, this is the best episode. All
Oh.
right. All right,
Brittany.
Brittany, back to you.
I'm ready.
I know. I feel like we just did the weather. Back to you in the studio.
Okay, let's talk about this. So you're making change. You've made change. You can continue to make change. Everybody's making change.
Yes.
Exciting things.
All the
right?
pivots.
So, yes, so many pivots. Brittany, what are some biggest rewards for you over your extended career and just satisfaction that you've received from being able to move in different directions and finally find where you're really passionate and loving what you're doing?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say just the feeling of making an impact. I think working with team members, even as a teller, working with members and helping people, just those connections and relationships that I build or have built along the way. When someone tells me that, a training has helped them grow, or someone, from a coaching conversation, just in any capacity has said, you made me think about this in a different way. That is incredibly rewarding. Those moments mean everything to me. And that's, one of the many reasons I'm here. I show up every day, with the core values. I believe in what I do every single day for an amazing organization. So, it's that impact, those moments and the connections and relationships that I've built.
Great. I love hearing that.
Me too. So good. How has pursuing your passion to make an impact on people had kind of that, I don't want to say impact again, but it's really like, so you impact people, but how has this impacted your overall well-being and your work-life balance?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I heard something a while back that talked about, instead of work-life balance, it's work-life harmony. Because there are going to be times that you're spending more time at the office because you have some big projects or things going on, or there's going to be more time that you're taking some, time off to spend with the family and vacation. So it's finding this sense of harmony. And I think when you find a position, a career, something that aligns with your personal values and that you enjoy doing, those two find harmony together. Now, it doesn't mean I'm perfect. I still am busy. I still, feel like, gosh, I need to spend more time at home, and it just fluctuates. And that's such a beautiful thing when you do find a position, a career that you really enjoy, is I've seen that more and more. And that just reiterates that I'm in the right spot, that I'm doing what I love every single day. And so that feels really good. Just that fulfillment from that. I wish I would have paid more attention to that early on, and even said yes to even more opportunities with that. It just kind of, it aligned. I think early on, if you would have asked me if I would be in learning development, I would have told you no. I would have told you no. I'd say, no, what are you talking about? No way. A trainer? No. Human resources? Absolutely not. I have no experience or background. And so it's been an amazing, amazing ride, and I enjoy what I do. So
I love work-life harmony.
Mhm.
I don't know if I've heard that, and I love that so much. Your description is so on point. Oh, I love it. Thank you for giving me that moment.
absolutely.
Any other bowling terms you guys need to throw in here? Because we're having a moment right now.
Well, it's true when you balance something, the fear of dropping things, right? Like you want to balance, and you don't want to lose sight of something, and you want to continue it moving, and that's hard and exhausting.
Right.
Too.
Absolutely.
Very much so.
You've both gone through so much transition in your careers, both of you. So how, if anything, would you guys have done differently?
Well, ladies first, please.
Oh,
Wow.
You got this, Jimmy.
All right, I'll go ahead and do this one. To be frank, I wouldn't change anything.
Awesome.
If I change it, that means I'm not the person that I am now.
Oh,
So that experience is what's helped me to grow through any kind of mistakes, adversities, and successes. If I hadn't gone through that, I wouldn't be the person that's sitting here speaking with you today. And so I actually like myself, surprisingly. And so I wouldn't change a thing. I'm not me. If I were to go back and say, let me change this, let me change that, then I'm some other person. And so that doesn't bring the genuineness that I have when I interact with other people. All my experiences, the past, everything that I've come from, let me be who I am now. And the way that I relate to people and their experience when they're speaking to me is because of those past experiences. So I wouldn't change a thing.
well, good. That's very good.
Trust me, there were some things I didn't like, but I wouldn't change.
Well, I think people would agree to that because you get so many reviews
Mhm.
on our website
Oh.
about how amazing you are. So thank you for that.
Oh, my pleasure. I
Yeah.
just get to be me, and it works out that way. So
Very good.
I enjoy it.
Good.
Brittany, how about you?
Yes. I would say I wish I would have recognized the truth. And what I mean by that is growth doesn't come from feeling ready. I kind of waited for this. Oh, am I ready? I'm not ready. I'm ready. And it really doesn't come from that feeling, because I promise you, we can come up with all different excuses. It's not the right time. I don't know that I have the background and experience. That's where, that volume control comes into play. So it doesn't come from feeling ready. It comes from just being willing, right? To step into that moment. What am I going to learn from this? What am I going to take away from this? And it doesn't mean I can't pivot again or change. It doesn't have to be a ladder. And I love this. I had heard from the Harvard Business Review a while back, and it just, this whole podcast and just the idea of this conversation, it's kind of like climbing a rock wall instead. And sometimes you got to take a step back to reflect and then figure out where you're going to go and move from there, that it's not just directly up a ladder. And so being willing to change and to pivot and try something different and new, and know that that's just going to add to your skills and experience and expand your horizons. And who knows where that will take you. So
good. Thank you. Yeah, I have nothing to give it.
I know.
So good.
I know,
Oh my
I'm like-
gosh. This is so good.
This is great. You guys are amazing.
All right.
Okay. We've come to the question that all our listeners stick with us, or they fast forward to because they don't want to listen to me. No, I'm just kidding. They don't fast forward.
Stop.
They just stop. But they won't stop on this episode.
No.
This is a penny or two for your thoughts point of our podcast. And so what advice would you give someone who's listening that is thinking about making a career change or thinking about pursuing a passion? What's that one piece of advice that you'd leave them with today?
Well, I would say for that, just consider if you do nothing, nothing happens. So if you just stay where you are, you're just going to stay there. You're not going to give yourself a chance of possibly finding something that you're more passionate about, that you enjoy more, or maybe you are happy where you're at. Maybe you just need to realize that maybe whatever the annoyances you might have to deal with day to day are far outweighed by everything that you enjoy doing. Everything about where you are, that's fine. There's no issue with that. But if you have an opportunity to potentially grow and you feel it might be something that you may move into, there's nothing wrong with exploring and finding out if it actually is meant for you. Sometimes you have to have a little bit of risk. Most of the time, anything that's worthwhile requires some kind of a sacrifice, whether it be great or small. But if you're willing to do that, if you're willing to potentially grow or even explore only, you may find something even better for yourself, or you may find something out about yourself that you didn't realize. So if you can, take the opportunity. Why not? If you try to move on to something, it doesn't work out, who's to say that where you came from isn't still available? Yeah. You could always move back into what you know, what you're comfortable, and then move on with your day.
Nothing changes if nothing changes. That's like my favorite line. Love that.
Yep.
Love it.
Absolutely.
I'm going to go back to start with curiosity. I think just asking yourself some questions. I think noticing what energizes you. Kind of like what Jimmy said, that there was a lot going around and just making the connections of what he enjoyed doing. He was already doing these things every single day. I think you have to stop for a moment to just recognize, and you know what? That energizes me, or that makes me feel really good. I want to pursue or just be more curious about doing more of that, or what would that look like, and start to ask those questions. I think another piece of advice I would say is you don't have to have things figured out. Sometimes it's just taking one simple step, and that's going to lead to a completely different direction that maybe you never even considered or thought, maybe even thought possible. So that would be kind of the direction. So start with curiosity, what energizes you, and then don't underestimate your story. So the experience. So I talk about with new hires all the time about the experience that I took away from, working in a restaurant to the call center, and everything I've learned along the way, I apply that every single day. So it isn't just about their credentials or their certificates or those elements. It's the experience too. So what else do you want to experience? What do you want to learn? And I think just being open to every single person that you connect with, what are you going to learn from them? So
her voice puts me in a trance. Yes. Positive trance. Yeah. Not like I'm going to fall asleep, but I'm like, I just need more. Keep talking.
Yeah, I know.
Keep talking. Keep talking.
I literally just found myself like staring at the screen at you.
I'm like, I'm sitting here with this.
Is it my turn to talk?
I don't know if I've had anyone tell me I was going to put them in a trance.
You're welcome.
That's awesome. And then I laugh, and then it just throws everyone off.
Stay curious about that. I will use that as something to think about.
Yeah. Zen.
Stay curious. Work-life harmony. I'm loving all of this.
Harmony.
You can wrap it up. I got nothing.
Yeah, she's zen right now.
I'm so zen.
She's so zen. She's on a cloud.
Something.
So
you're in the right spot.
Yeah.
Right.
Having the right conversation.
That's right.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Now I'm in a, okay. Snapping for my face. I know I'm speaking for Chantel, and she can if I'm wrong, but you both are amazing. And what you both do to make an impact, Brittany, on our employees, all of us, that see you and get to experience you every day. We are so lucky. And Jimmy, the things that you do for our members day in and day out, that impact that you have on them, you're teaching them, you're helping them. We talk about this when we do the new hire training. Our finances are so personal, and you taking the time to coach them and consult them, that is amazing. You guys are both doing amazing things. And I love how you both are not afraid to pivot and follow your passions. Brittany, I know you're in that. You're living it day in, day out. Jimmy, we're so excited for you to, take this next step with that education. So I just want to thank you both for taking the time, because I know both of you are super busy. Brittany, you're literally in between trainings. Jimmy, you've got members to go help. So we appreciate you being here with us today, and just want to reiterate how much we appreciate both of you.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate 50 times in there.
Yeah.
And listeners, we appreciate you. We do.
We
We really
do.
appreciate
If you're
you.
still hanging on with
You're
us,
still there.
thank you.
Thanks for continuing to tune in. We enjoy the feedback that we get from people, our listeners. So don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, give Centris a follow on Facebook, Instagram, X, and LinkedIn. And if you want to connect with somebody as amazing as Brittany and Jimmy, you can just join our amazing team here at Centris. We've got some great careers posted on our website. So if you want to start your career with us, please take a look there. Or if you're just looking for some guidance from some great team members like Jimmy, you can give us a call at 402-334-7000. And you can also check out our website at centrisfcu.org. And we hope you enjoyed this episode as much as Chantel and I did. Hopefully you're not in a trance. You're not driving in a trance. But we appreciate you and thank you for listening.
Thanks, everyone.